Greetings, Caradonis. This is Creator V speaking. So, if you don't know, Australia is implementing a blanket ban for all social media for kids under the age of 16 on December 10th of this year. Now, you may say that this is a good thing, but I truly believe it isn't. People may say, "Oh, you're just a kid. You don't know what's good for you. Let the adults handle this." But I digress. This ban is not helpful and an invasion of privacy for everyone. This is problematic, especially for children, which is ironic. Now, I'm not saying that children should be able to have social media, but I'm saying that this is not the best way to go about it. I would also like to add that some points of this ban, like preventing predatory behavior online, is a good thing. However, there are better ways to go about it. And there are many reasons for why I believe this. Before continuing, I would like to say that 1, I'm speaking on this because it does affect me as a content creator based in Australia. And 2, the research to this has been done by me. However, the script was drafted last year in November when they first announced the ban. With that being said, let's begin. Reason 1, breach of privacy. Okay, this ban is a major breach of privacy. Not because of the ban itself, but because of what they are suggesting to verify age. They are suggesting a facial scan or even a photo of your ID. Both of these are major breaches of privacy, which may also result in fraud or identity theft if these accounts ever got hacked. This obviously rubs a lot of people the wrong way, as safety and anonymity online has been a big deal from the start of the internet and continues to do so. 2, right to access knowledge. Everyone deserves to have the right to access knowledge, and YouTube and other social media are major sources of information. While yes, some of it is bad and some of it is false, but it is on parents and schools to teach about safety online and the consequences and how to identify misinformation. The government must only provide more programs for education in this sort of situation for both parents and kids rather than a blanket ban. Plus, YouTube is a source for many educational videos, and social media can be used to find people to help educate or tutor kids. 3, freedom of expression. Freedom of expression is when you give a person the right to have their voices and opinions heard. This means the social media ban will prevent young people from voicing their opinions on issues. Now, people may say that we are young and we don't know what we're talking about, but many young kids do talk about these issues in school and in private. My friend group is a good example, and we also have philosophy as an elective in our school, so people do talk about these issues, and banning social media is cutting off a lot of voices and denying freedom of expression. This goes into my personal conspiracy, but I won't be speaking of that in this section. 4, right to leisure and play. This is the one that many people are upset about. Social media is a leisure, something kids do in their time to connect with others and share their stories. While yes, too much of it can be harmful, but banning it outright will deny the kids a right to entertainment. And this goes on to the next point. 5, promoting healthy development. This is a major point for why the social media ban is good. While yes, this will push children to be outside more and allow them more interactions with real people, those meetups are often arranged online. Kids use social media to share themselves going out, which encourages more people to go out and be active. Plus, healthy development is also providing kids with new ways to socialize and connect with others. And social media helps share your stories and get them out into the world. It helps you network and helps you reach people who you couldn't otherwise. Parents are the ones who are supposed to teach kids how to have a strong mind and be active. And it is hard, and I'm not saying it isn't, but we have been doing it for thousands of years. Parents have to be the ones to educate their kids and not a government. Additionally, schools nowadays use platforms such as YouTube to show educational videos to classes. Social media allows people to find places and people to help them educate their kids. Using social media to educate has been a thing from the very beginning. Just look at the channel Veritasium. 6, protection from harm. The government says this ban will protect Australian youth from bullying and harmful activity online. Yes, this is a very important issue and it must be discussed. but there are more ways to keep our online world safe. However, it is on the companies to enforce their own TOS. A TOS is a terms of service, which are basically rules of what you can and can't do on a platform, as well as how old you should be at minimum to be on the platform. See? These rules need to be enforced more. Instead of a ban, force companies to enforce their own rules. Much more. I personally think that's a better alternative, because almost all apps have a minimum age requirement. And that should be enforced rather than banning it all out for 16 and under. Plus, the Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, said he wants to minimize harmful content. This won't be doing anything. For dear stars, it pisses me off that they think this even will. I don't know much about other platforms as I'm not on them, but YouTube has clear age restrictions, which is enforced to prevent such content reaching the eyes of young children. Many YouTubers often complain about how strict the system is, so this really won't be doing anything. Furthermore, it is parents' responsibility to raise their children, which leads us to the next point. 7. Denying parents the right to raise their own children. As said, it is a parent's job to raise their kids, not a government's. The government's job is to keep the world from going to absolute hell. Clearly, that's not going too well, but I can't commentate on that. However, this ban is basically telling parents, we don't trust you with your own damn kids, so we will do it for you. No. Just no. I know I'm young, but this honestly is very condescending towards parents. Like, imagine someone telling you that you can't raise your own kids right. This is denying parents the right to raise their own child how they see fit. A parent who's well informed about social media, has a strong connection with their child, and can support their child is what we need instead of a blanket ban. If the government wants to stop kids from being depressed, then fund more mental health research and institutions, as well as stop the root causes. Parents are the ones who are supposed to encourage healthy behavior, and the government is not supposed to force it. Many parents may see this as a good thing, but this is only surface level. In the end, the government is taking away a parent's right to raise their own children. 8 and final reason. Lack of knowledge of social media by older generations. The older generations clearly don't know as much about social media as more recent ones. The younger generations are growing up in the age of the internet and teaching them and the older generations about internet safety is very important. Instead of blanket banning, we must teach them, guide them. Australia's e-safety commissioner, Julie Grant, sorry if I mispronounced the name, made this good analogy. It's like water safety. You don't ban everyone from swimming in fear of drowning. Instead, you educate them. You teach them to swim young, teach them water safety, lifeguards, RIPS, etc. This is what we need to do for online safety as well. Get educated, have better rules which still give everyone freedom. Either way, kids will find their way around this ban. Kids are very tech savvy, even more so than a lot of adults. Now, moving on to a bit more lighthearted, or not so, opinions of others. Now to the opinions of others and my commentary on them. These opinions are from 3 of my classmates and a close friend of mine, plus something that me and my teacher shared. From my classmate, it's stupid and the PM should go tickle himself because the ban will just lead to more instances of people using social media. Also, I want a Subway Toasty. The last part was requested to be added, just as a lighthearted joke, but this is shared by 2 of my other classmates who said, instead of punishing kids, they should punish the pedos. Besides, kids are going to find their way into social media regardless, and when they do, they'll find sites where no one no longer has an incentive to keep things civil because of any kids who see the inappropriate content, and there will be an increase of that. And for my other classmates, it's stupid and it ain't gonna work. Stay blunt as always. Moving on to a statement made by 2 of my friends. My first friend says, I think it is a good decision as social media is becoming a disease of addiction for people and many people are getting bullied and committing suicide because of this. Plus, under 16 is a crucial age for kids to develop and focus on their education and extracurricular activities so when they're older, they have a good job. Now, I personally do agree about this in theory, But the government being involved and taking away a right to parents to raise their kids is what I'm against. I have explained this in previous section. As much as I believe that social media is bad, it is on the parents, not the kids. If parents want their kids to be more active, then they have to take the initiative. They have to guide the kid and teach them why it's so important to be more active instead of just forcing them to do it. If a kid knows why it's important, then they will learn and they will do it themselves. We are in the internet age now, and this is our path forward. Now, from what I saw, these opinions largely reflect the opinions of people on both ends of the spectrum, but do feel free to leave your own comments and saying their opinions. Oh boy. Personal conspiracy time! Before continuing, for the love of stars, please take this with a major grain of salt. This is what I personally think is the true reason for why the government is doing this, and I am in no way, shape, or form saying this is real, nor saying this is what is true. With that being said, let's continue. So, I personally believe this is a way for the government to track our data. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Many people have stated the same. This is a major risk. If the government has data on every Australian, who knows what will happen? Probably a lot more of controlling, guys. We can have a nationwide hack for all we know, but I won't go into too much detail in this section, so moving on. So what do I propose? Now, I have had this conversation with many people, such as friends and teachers, and what I suggest? Having more material to educate parents on the dangers of social media as well as kids. Now, this was personally going to be my personal plan for how I raise my kids in the future, but here's what I say. 10 and under, no social media. Only YouTube Kids on an iPad or my phone. 11 to 13, private social medias with only close friends and heavy parental supervision. 14 to 17, and let them have it, but keep checking in on them and their social media platform to see how they're doing and make sure everything's okay. 18 plus, let them have it. They're adults, they can do whatever. Give them advice if they're asked. Now, this is what I would do, but another alternative for the ban, as said before, is to enforce the companies to implement better age restrictions and to fix the algorithm which get young people addicted to social media in the first place, as well as provide parents with more resources to help them manage social media within their household instead of blanket banning. The best way to keep a kid happy and healthy is to give them a loving environment where they have a support network where they can come to in case something goes wrong. A place with boundaries which are firm, but the child can still be themselves. In the end, it's a parent's responsibility, not a soulless government's. And if you have to rely on a government to raise your kids, that's just more on you. Finally, conclusion. To conclude, you can't expect a person to swim if they're banned from it. Just like how you can't expect a child to be safe online if they're never exposed to it. We have to teach kids how to be safe online, not ban them completely. So with that being said, thank you for watching this video. I know it's different from my usual type of content, but just know I won't be doing this too often. I'm not a commentary YouTuber. This is just an issue that I felt passionate about personally. Let me know if you want me to cover this again, or if there's anything I missed. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. Please, remember to stay safe, remember to be respectful, be kind, and be a good person. Let's all work together to make a brighter future where everyone is safe and free. Thank you, Caradonis. This is your Creator V, signing out. Till next time.